Hey, this is Rick from Hiking Emergency Beacon, and today I want to compare the Somewear Global Hotspot right here to the ACR Bivvy Stick. They're both two-way satellite messengers, and they're really small. And let me tell you more about it in just a minute. But before I do, please like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications so you'll be alerted as soon as I put out new videos. Well, let's talk about the Somewear Global Hotspot first. And right now it's strapped to my pack. Really easy to take off. As you saw, I actually put it through 2 loops here. First thing you can see, there's a little strap on the back that hooks. Makes it really simple to hook to your pack. There's a power button here on the side. There's also a port for like a USB mini port or something like that to charge, upload, download information. So that's that. On the top is the SOS. Says it right here. I'll be adding screenshots to all this so you can see it a lot better. So there's 2 lights up here, and you just push down on this for 3 seconds or so. But there's 2 lights, and it says sending SOS and SOS delivered. So they'll light up when that information or the signal is sent. That's all there is to it, pretty much. There is a light on the front that that'll go off and on. I believe when you have it turned on, and it's got reception from satellites, and also when you're charging, it'll show. I think it shows red or maybe yellow, and then goes to green when it's charged. So let's go ahead and turn it on, and let's show you a little bit more about it. When I turned it on, now there's a white light. It flashes white light to show that it's on. Let's put it back on my pack, and let's show you how I actually use it. This satellite messenger is really a dumb device if it's not synced with your smartphone. You can't do anything really with it. The only thing you can do with it is call for help if you put it on your pack. And if that's all you want, great. That'll work for you. But when you sync it to your smartphone, you get a whole lot more options. First thing is you have to sync it, and you have to go to the Somewear Global Hotspot app, which I will show you screenshots of again. It says to pair here at the top, and I'm in the map page right now, and now it says pairing. Make sure you always test your device before you go out in the mountains. Make sure, maybe it's a pairing issue, maybe just getting used to how the app works, and also communicating with other devices or with other cell phone users, and I just double check it. So what I always do is I go out in the mountains where I'm not too far away, but I don't have cell service. I can really check it for sure. And several times I've found where I have to go back, do something, and then go back to the mountains. But you want to really make sure you test it. One thing I had to do when it was said it was pairing, I've had to go out to my settings and go to Bluetooth and make sure that it was connected. It was not connected. I had to click on it, and now it says it's connected. Now I'm back on the map, and so it shows like river. Well, it does. It shows rivers, lakes, roads, and all that. I'm actually going to go over to a trail that I take quite often when I'm close by and I want just to get out for a quick hike, or I want to take family out who's not from this area, to give a quick hike, kind of get them used to the altitude and get them in shape a little bit. It's kind of interesting because my sister came up here and her son, and we went out hiking, and man, she was struggling for about 3-4 days, but after about 5 or 6, she was really starting to. It was a noticeable difference how well she was doing at altitude, and she's from Missouri, so it's quite a bit of difference in altitude. So I'm going over to Spruce Mountain, and it's a trail that's so there's a couple different trails, but it shows it. So it doesn't show the trailhead, but it does show the trails, which is really nice. One thing that I wish that it would do is that I could go into the map ahead of time, put down waypoints where the trailhead is, where some points of interest might be, or if I'm going on a longer hike where I might want to camp, or if there's maybe I've done some research and there's some great photo opportunities, a waterfall, lake, whatever. So as far as I know, you can't do that. So if I'm wrong, then please leave a comment below, because I always want to learn and do better research and make sure I'm telling you, all of you, what's the right thing. You can also click at the top of the page, and there's different maps, and you can get offline maps. You can create a new offline map here, and I'm not going to do that, but just want to let you know that that's available. There's people here, and they're saying who's following, whom I'm following, and who are followers of me. So again, I don't use that, but just to let you know it's there. Then there's a different icon here down at the bottom right. There's like 3 icons that switch to an aerial map. So that's really nice to have, because sometimes it's sometimes a topo map doesn't tell you everything you need to know. So I switch back to the topo map. And then there's another thing here for download in the section of the map for online use, and you can download it, and I'm going to cancel because that's not what I'm doing today. And then there's an arrow button at the very bottom right, and then it puts you back to your location. And it just shows up as a blue circle on the map. At top left it says it's tracking, and it says the word tracking. And I'm going to put some information up on the screen because I don't recall if it automatically tracks or you have to set it up, because I don't see anything here that says to start tracking. At the bottom left of the page is the message. And so you'll see here, again, to take a screenshot. And I've already sent several messages. So I'll do a real quick test here and show you how it works. There's a plus icon at the top right. You click on it, and then it has all your contacts. So I think you can say if you want to share your contacts or not. Of course, I am. And I click on myself here. There's my name. I'm going to actually send it to my cell phone number. And I've already made a couple messages. And then down at the bottom, it's just like typing a message on your phone. And you click down at the bottom where it has a letter, and then you just type a message. It's super simple. It's one thing I do like about this device. It's the convenience is off the charts. Yeah, it's a dumb device by itself. When you connect it to your smartphone, it's just like using your smartphone. You get the bigger maps on the screen, you get the messages on your screen, and you can type it just as fast. You don't have to do anything with the device itself. It's really convenient. I'm going to put test 2 here. Super easy to do. And then I hit the up arrow and it sends it. And I already have the message. Of course, I'm in cell service, so I knew it was going to go pretty quick. I'm going to say something here, and I'll edit it if I need to. I believe the Somewear Global Hotspot, one of the advantages of it is if you're inside and don't have a view of the sky, it will still work. It works off of cell service if you're inside and can't see a satellite. But then it seamlessly transfers to satellites when you walk outside and you're outside of cell service. So that is a really convenient function. So here it is on my phone. I already have the message. I'll do a quick reply. It's just the exact same as when you're doing it from the Somewear Global Hotspot. That's interesting. When I sent the message, I said receive the test 2 message, and it showed up again as a comment from the Somewear Global Hotspot. Okay. Well, I wouldn't do that if I was sending it to somebody else, but since I'm synced and it knows it's me, maybe. All right, so back on my Somewear Global Hotspot app, there it is. Receive the test 2 message. Success. It works really well. The next thing down at the bottom is something that looks like a sun, and it's the weather. And so I've gotten some weather in the past. Last updated, it was July 4th. It says weather this week upcoming, and it shows sunshine, 6:42, 4:45. There was a button at the top that had like a little circle, like to select it again, the weather again, to get it. And so it gave me the weather. And right now it's 48 degrees. It shows the weather throughout the day, and then it shows what it's going to be like through the rest of the week, the highs and the lows. It doesn't give you a lot of detail as some of the other weather apps will give you, but it's enough to kind of give you an indication of what's happening. We've already done the map at the bottom of the screen here, and then we'll go to settings, and here it's just my email and contact us. That's contacting somewhere. There's some legal, regulatory, etc. So that's pretty much it. It's actually a super simple app to use. There's not a lot to it. It's good enough for most everybody for what you want. It doesn't give you as accurate of weather as, say, the Garmin or maybe even the ACR Bivvy Stick, but it's a great device. It's really small. You can see how small it is. It's really, really light, and you won't even know it's on your pack. It's a great device. Like I said, it uses the Iridium satellite network, so you have global pole-to-pole coverage, just like the Garmin's and just like the ACR Bivvy Stick. You've got two-way messaging, you got the SOS and the weather, and so that's pretty much what it is. If there's anything I forgot, I'll put it on the screen, but super simple device. I believe the price of this, the Somewear Global Hotspot, is about $280 right now, compared to the ACR Bivvy Stick, which is about $350. But you know, it does cost a bit of money, but put a little money aside, save it, and you'll be glad you took it out in the mountains, because I never used it for, like, say 30 years, 25 years hiking out in the mountains and all, and camping. But now that I've used it, I don't leave home without one. Well, let's go over and talk about the ACR Bivvy Stick right here. I put it up, can't even see I have it. I have an Osprey backpack that has a lot of great features to it, and one of them is it fits, this ACR Bivvy Stick fits perfectly in the strap. Okay, so let's get this out and look at it a little bit closer. Again, it's a really small device. Just from feeling it, I think it's a bit heavier than the Somewear Global Hotspot, but it's really light, and it's really small and thin, and you know, it's probably about 4 inches or so tall and 1/2 inch wide. At the top there's an icon. It's just their Bivvy Stick icon, and there's an indicator light here. There's it'll tell you if you're, how good of reception you're getting with satellites. There's a check-in button here, so you can select that, and then it'll send a message to people in your contact list that says, hey, I'm fine, just checking in. Down here is the power button, and at the bottom is the SOS, and you just pull this flap open, hold it for like 5 seconds, I believe, and then search and rescue teams will come looking for you. And then here's another flap where you can charge, download or upload information. And then on the back, there's a connection here for a GoPro connections, and you can attach it to your, you know, a bike, a Jeep, a kayak, whatever you want. And so that's a nice convenient thing. So let's go ahead now and look at the app itself and see what it's like and how it's different, similar or different to the Somewear Global Hotspot. So we select the Bivvy Stick app, and just to let you know too, ACR bought Bivvy Stick, so now it's the ACR Bivvy Stick, and this is the Bivvy Stick Blue that I have, but all they did is repackage it, put different colors on it, and called ACR Bivvy. It's the same device. Well, I forgot to do this, but we need to turn it on first, right? So it comes on, it shows a red indicator light here. It'll actually turn yellow and green depending on how many satellites it'll start seeing. I'm not going to push it all the way down the pack this time, because I want it to, sometimes I'm concerned, is it sensing or seeing satellites through this? So sometimes I'll leave it up a bit, but it actually does, it works through it. I don't know why I'm being a little cautious today. So then I go back into the Bluetooth and I look for my device. It's not seeing it. All right, then see, I just found it on its own. So I'm going to go back to the settings. I'm going to look real quick. And Bivvy Stick 2, I've labeled it Bivvy Stick 2. It says it's connected, so we're good to go. So the first thing I'm going to show you is when you click on the stick down at the bottom of your cell phone or your smartphone, it shows information. It shows a lot of things here. It shows check-in, weather, messages, but then it also say account settings, about my Bivvy Stick. Disconnect Bivvy Stick means that I'm connected. And then there's a user guide. So several things. So then if you go to home, it has a lot of different things it shows. It's a lot of similar things it shows, but again, it's messages, SOS. It's really convenient because it shows several things on here: new adventures, offline maps, waypoints, weather, etc. And then it shows nearby adventures. Honestly, I think the ACR Bivvy Stick is worth the extra money because it does give you additional information. So it's telling you nearby adventures, and you can click on it, and there's from hiking. It says there's a Nightbird Ranch, Clear Creek Trail. A lot of great things if you're kind of wondering what to do. So before we go any further though, let's go ahead and take a look at the maps. I always like to do that first. It shows here, it's showing some of the closest trails to me. But if you want to filter, say you're on you want to go kayaking or climbing, there's off-road trails, you can then select filter by. And when you filter by, you can swipe up the menu and you'll see a lot more things. And it's showing trails close by, but so like right now I've got, it says camping, but I'm going to click on hiking, and then here it actually shows, it'll say permit required, waterfall, coastline, canyon. So there's different things you can filter by if you're interested in something in particular. So I pretty much leave that blank. And then you can pick, there's a snowshoeing, mountain biking, trail running, cross-country skiing, road biking, camping. So, and then adventure quality. You know, what kind of revert views do you want to look at? So it's really, there's a lot of information here. And so when you pick that, you hit the X at the top, and then it'll show places around. So right near me, there's a Dawson's Butte Trail. And I've hiked that several times. It's about a 5-mile trail. You can make it shorter, but it's actually really nice. And it actually shows the trails. You have to zoom in a little bit to see. It shows the marker where the trailhead's at. And this is one thing I like over the Somewear Global Hotspot. Somewear Global Hotspot did not show the trailhead. It did show trails, but it didn't show the trailhead. But if you click on this icon of the trailhead, it gives information on the trail. And then if you swipe up, it gives a lot more information. It says, gives you the review ratings. It says it's 4.9 miles. It's 3.9 miles away. It has a profile on it, and it shows how long it takes. It's a moderate. It gives the adventure type description. And then if you actually go out of this and you click on the trail itself, on the icon again, and then if you just click on it, it'll show pictures. Now this one here is just showing a picture of the trailhead in a topo map. Some of them also show pictures of what the trail looks like. So it depends what trail. And so it has a lot more information than the Somewear Global Hotspot. Spoiler alert, I guess. At this point in the review, I'm picking the ACR Bivvy Stick over the Somewear Global Hotspot. They're similar. They're dumb devices by themselves. This one's a bit smarter by itself. You can actually select check-in, and you can at least let people know you're okay. Well, you can't do that on the Somewear Global Hotspot. So there's several reasons why, you know, the $350 versus the $280 price difference is actually worth it. There's another thing I really like about this app, and it's because it shows icons all over the place. And like I said, you can filter and get rid of them, but it'll show campgrounds. It'll show hiking trails, mountain biking trails, snowshoeing trails, places where you can kayak on the river. I mean, it has a lot of information, and you can't go in, just like the Somewear Global Hotspot, you cannot go in and put your route down ahead of time or put waypoints down ahead of time, as far as I know. But again, leave a comment below and correct me if I'm wrong. I just haven't been able to see how to do that. On the Garmin products, I can go in ahead of time on the map page, put the route, download the route with waypoints and all that, and send it to my phone, because sometimes you have a lot of trails in an area and you want to take certain trails, or you don't want to take them all, you shorten it up, whatever it is. And when you put a route in, it's easier to follow the trails and not get sidetracked or lost. Not that you would get lost, because you still see the trails, but it helps you stay on your trail. But this one here, having all these different locations you can pick. Yeah, so I just picked one here down in Gunnison. And it has Gunnison KOA, campground. It has Hartman Rocks. It's a place a lot of people go out there from the Gunnison area and rock climb and hike and mountain bike. This has some things like this I just mentioned that the Garmin product doesn't have. The Garmin InReach Mini and the Garmin InReach Explorer Plus. So it's more powerful than the Somewear Global Hotspot. I already told you about the stick at the bottom. Then there's messages. I've sent a whole lot of messages here. And again, I'll take some screenshots, but I'm actually not going to send a message right now, because it's the exact same way you send a message on the Somewear Global Hotspot. It looks the same. It's the same way when you're typing a message on your cell phone. So I've got a screenshot to show you the tests I've already done, but I'm not going to type it because it's a waste of my time and your time. At the end, there's a profile, and it has friends, friended, all that. I don't use it. Let's get back out of that. Let's go back to the home screen, because there's several things on the home screen that you'll want to know about. And so you can hit SOS. So you can hit SOS from the screen itself or on the device. You can share your location. And I have shared my location in the past, so I'll give you a screenshot of what that looks like. There's a check-in. And then again, offline maps, waypoints. You can set waypoints here. Let's just see how that works. It's showing where I'm at. There's an edit button. Basically, it goes to where I'm located, and then it says test. So you can it says name. So I'm going to put test 2 and done. Again, it's just like typing on your cell phone. And then I'm going to hit save. When I go back out to the map, then it shows an icon. What happened here was where my map was located, centered on, that's where they put the waypoint, which is really nice, because then you can put it where you're currently at, or if you're somewhere else, and then you can put an end name for it. I don't know that you can actually go in and change the icon, but you can add a picture, so that's pretty cool. And so let's get back out of that. That's enough of that. Going back to the home screen. And again, like I said, there's nearby adventures. So if you click on these nearby adventures, it has an arrow at the bottom, and you can arrow to different ones. You're like, well, okay, it's not hiking I'm interested in. It's I need a campsite or a campground, and you can just arrow through them all. It's really, really convenient. Another thing I want to show you here is the tracking button. If you start tracking, then it will track at certain intervals, and I'll put on the screen what those intervals are, or if you can even change the intervals. And so just last on this home screen, it shows your battery level at the top left. So, you know, like I said, at the bottom is home, map, stick, message, profile, and the weather. I've already done the weather, so I'll show you a screenshot of that too. That's pretty much it. This device is super simple. As I said, by themselves, they're pretty much dumb devices. When you sync them to your smartphone, they're actually really smart devices. Really convenient. I don't know that I would take these out on really hard adventures. Say, as an extreme adventure, you would never take these out to Mount Everest. You would, if you're out for 5-6 days and you're syncing to your cell phone, I wouldn't take it out for that either, because then you got to worry about your cell phone charge. I always take out a portable charger to either, if I have to, charge my satellite messenger or my phone. But you only get like 3 or 4 charges, and sometimes even with a good phone, you'll lose a charge in a day if you're using it very much. So I use these satellite messengers quite a bit, but I only go out for day hikes, or I may be out fishing or hunting for 1 or 2 days. It works perfect for that. But if you're going out longer, I would go with something that's more of a standalone device, like the Garmin InReach Explorer Plus, and I'll put the image of that on the screen and a link below. But depending on how you go out and what kind of adventures you go on, that'll dictate, in my opinion, what kind of device you should get. And I've got reviews on all of these. So take a look around on my website and on the YouTube channel, and you'll see all the satellite messengers. There you have it, the review between the Somewear Global Hotspot and the ACR Bivvy Stick. They're both really similar devices. I think the ACR Bivvy Stick is a little more powerful, and it's about $70 more, but I think it's worth it. They're both great. If you chose one, I mean, I would never argue with you, because it's all up to your personal taste and how much money you have too. If you're really short on money, then for about $100 on sale, $150 maybe, the Spot Gen 3 is probably the best way to go, because it at least lets you track and send a few messages. It's a one-way satellite messenger, but it has the SOS function, and it's I think it's the cheapest on the market. And that's the first one I started out with, and I'll leave a link below also for that one. So that Spot Gen 3 is a great starter satellite messenger. Thanks for joining me on Hiking Emergency Beacon, and please like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications so you'll be alerted as soon as I send out new videos. And I'll see you back here soon with another video from Hiking Emergency Beacon.